Hello, my name is Nicholas Poling. This is the video recording for the first sprint review for game design integration. Let's get into it. I'm going to refresh Perforce, get latest, no files updated, go into milestone, and open the project. For this milestone, we had some quality of life to add to it. My job was adding the level select to get this functional. We did have some back and forth between the playtesters to make it a bit more obvious that this is a scroll bar. They all do work, but I'll get into that in a second. We also had to add some quality of life by adding in a control menu. Same idea of making it as clear as possible that this would be a scroll bar. I also had to add in some quality of life with the quit game by putting in one more block between the "Are you sure you want to quit? Yes or no?" Yes. No. For the level select, they all do work. They take you to the there we go. I was responsible for most of the widget work to make sure everything worked. Now let's get into the levels I made. We did this for the last class, but it was more to demonstrate the win condition, lose condition, and get everything working. More importantly, get the camera slide in working and the timer working to create a pattern for the other levels. Playtester did mention that they would like to have a cinematic skip in. I haven't figured out how to do that just yet. The next level I was responsible for was this one, and I wanted to, this would be the template I would use to recreate the other levels. I used a mechanic I designed throughout the course, the anti-gravity well, light bridge, whatever you want to call it, in order to guide the player to where they need to go, but also to, well, get them there. I created different resets throughout the level to get the player back to where they needed to go, and added in the lose condition of getting into the poison, mist, poison cloud. I wanted to show where in the level the player needs to go to make that very clear. What I enjoyed and did not enjoy about the playtesters is that they obviously found a way to get out of this quickly, but they also found the very known glitch of also getting stuck in this well. I did have that area down there as basically a, if you get down there, you're dead. So you want to learn how to get out of it without falling down there. I wanted resets, but not able to make the whole level moot or be able to skip all the level. So if they want to get over here, they have to take the anti-gravity stream. Once there, they really had only one of two things to do, which I tried to make obvious. I think some players missed it, and that was partly because they didn't know the controls, which is why I added the widget. They kept trying to figure out which button was the interact button. It wasn't obvious. The idea is that they would press the button, they would look around to see what happened, and then they'd see the cube and be able to add 2 and 2 to cube, pressure plate, win. So, and again, they seem to get lost with not knowing they had the ability to double jump. So again, added in the widget to make that more obvious. They would then see pressure plate, win. How do I win? I need to get the cube over here. They did not realize how to pick up cubes, which again, widget, we might need to add tutorial levels to make that more obvious. You travel faster than the cube, which does make it slightly bit more of a pain in the butt. Because if you miss it, it slowly follows you. And I also noticed in playtesting that you can accidentally put the cube out of reach. And this is where players got stuck. They would essentially just have to button mash to get out. I'm aware of how much of a pain it is. I'm trying to fix it. I don't know how yet. You do slowly get out if you shoot the beam. In which case the player will again jump into here. Hopefully, oh. And again, also notice the fact that it might drop you from time to time. And with that, win. There have been speed strats of basically being able to drop the cube right here and then drop the player. Don't recommend it because many of the times the cube just falls down over here. I've been suggested of adding resets on the other side of the level to make it more forgiving. Don't know if I'm going to go back and add that kind of reset. It'd just be a staircase that lets the player jump back into the anti-gravity stream. Yeah. This was my next level. I decided, and the mechanic was designing keys and key doors. I decided to kind of be a bit lazy with the design, just a hallway and some keys to make it really easy. The doors show you how many keys you need with the 1/1. how many keys you have and how many keys you need. So if we go in, and I added in the timer because I felt like that every level needs a lose condition. So it says you have 0 keys out of 3, which means there are 4 keys in the level. You need all 4 to win. And a 30-second timer to trigger the lose condition. So you need 1, 2. 2 of 1. 2, 3. The door will not open unless you have all the keys needed to open, so that way it doesn't create a soft lock. Because I did do that a few times where, hey, I don't have enough keys to open you, but you took my keys anyway. What the heck? So I created that, so I added that check-in to make sure that if the player doesn't have enough keys, they don't end up losing their keys anyway and then getting stuck. Got a little lost. We also realize that our naming convention needs some work because these aren't quite metric levels, but they're also not quite full levels. They're prototypes. Again, opening sequence to show you what you need to do and what you need to grab. This is meant to be the movable platform level. And look at that, movable platform. What you're seeing is it does move, but what you should also notice is this little Easter egg where you can move the platform by standing on top of it. The goal is to get to that top of the level. You can see platforms where you might be tempted to jump. A disappearing platform that does disappear after 10 seconds. But the showcase was you need to use that movable platform to win. No matter what the player does, they won't be able to reach that without getting everything in place. They'll see the pressure plate and see the cube and know to move it, or should know to move it. They'll put the pressure plate there, they'll see those platforms move down, but they'll also see this platform come up. So, if they do fall, they will have a reset. Now, I did try to plan for if the player decides to be sneaky and move it over here, what would happen. It's if they take the cube off. I did try to plan for those kind of resets. It's hopefully the player wouldn't do it, but I don't know. If the player moves this cube anywhere over here, they should be able to reset. I say should. Just by moving around, they should be able to reset. Just like the Pioneers, which I hope people get the reference. They are meant to see the keys, but I also meant for them to be able to reset. If they do get it onto here, that is a problem. Because if they do, I don't know if there's a reset yet. If I had a reset or not. Oh, oops. So if the player does this, they're currently screwed. Because there's no way to get the... If they currently do this and end up down there, they are currently screwed. Because there's no way to get back up, and there is no way to win, and the only thing they can do is restart the level. Show the key door, show that you need a key, show the cube, hopefully realize that you need a pressure plate. Just like the Pioneers. Wait for the lift. See that you need a cube. Go back and get the cube. Don't know what happened to my frame rate. So after this, they should be able to see that they should be able to move the cube to win. And from over here, be able to reach this key, which they should be able to see, that key, one. They might assume that they only need 2 keys to win. They'll see that they need 3, look around for where they haven't been in the level, and realize that they shouldn't have been in that corner yet. Or at least that's the hope. Maybe they grabbed it on their way up. Maybe they didn't. I did try to plan for all the resets, but that one just... didn't occur to me. And win. I'm thinking of just adding a platform. But I don't know yet. That was 17? Yes. The last 3 are the boss level. I wanted the first part of the level was meant to force the player out from this zone of safety, because if they try staying too long, they'll run into this fire lava wall that if they run into, they die. So that's meant to force them to, hey, you need to run. You need to run for a chance to win. It shows them the cubes, it shows them the grenades going off, and it shows them the lasers, saying there's not a lot of safety here. They should see that this does block the laser from hitting the player, so it does give safety. But what am I supposed to do? Well, they're meant to see that the only thing they can do is hit the sphere with the cube. They are meant to look around of, okay, how do I get another cube? Well, the only other thing is this button. Now, this area looks more dangerous than it is. If the player just rests right here, they can recharge their health. It's meant to look scarier than it is. Press R. Press the interact button. New cube. Again, scarier than it is because the cube does block the laser. It's the run back that'll be terrifying, or meant to be terrifying. But it's not as scary as it seems. It's just a game of jump rope. Press R again, new cube. Get out of the poison. Toxic cloud. Okay, they should see that they got one more challenge with that cube. Again, it's just meant to be scarier than it is. The plan was to make it a kind of turret, but haven't been able to get that functional just yet. When they do destroy the thing, everything stops. No more grenades, no more bombs. They can see the win condition from here. If they try to be sneaky, oh, I'm going to take another cube with me to the next level. I kind of thought of that. So that there is a reason why it doesn't appear with them other than the level didn't have it. Destroys the cube on contact. No taking cubes. Nowhere for the player to go other than to win. Next is my seesaw level. Again, playtesters had an issue. They quite didn't know how to get up there. Some players even did manage to jump all the way up, which is kind of fine. It's not the intended solution, but it's a solution, so I'm cool with that. The goal is for them to get as many cubes as it'll spawn. They might not have realized that pressing multiple times results in them getting multiple cubes. They're meant to bring it over here, place it on top, and slowly bring the weight down, letting the player jump up there. What they should also have realized is that you need, from the little opening camera pan, is that you do need one cube up there with you. There are 8 cubes in the level. You need 7 to get the right weight, and the last one to get you to open the door. I did try to give it a generous timer, so if they do it this way, they'll have plenty of time to win. But it is counting down. Wasn't meant to be exciting level. With these levels and mechanics, I was getting a bit burnt out, so I did try to get the level and mechanic detailed as fast as possible. And again, that same idea of getting rid of the cube before they can enter. Again, with that level, they had the issue of not knowing the controls of how to pick cubes up and how to trigger the button. So we did add in the control menu. For the last one, same issue of what button is the interact button. We did change in plan initially. The original plan was that the Clank actor can't step onto lava, but we found it more enjoyable if the Clank actor could. One of those things where the immunity was more enjoyable to play, to make it stand in front of lasers, to make it stand in front of bullets and nothing happen, but also be unable to win. Meaning its intended use is to open up paths for the player, and if done right, stand in front of the fire. Line of fire, I mean. And that's it. Thank you for your time.